Well, tell you, well, the next president will be a Republican.
A Republican? Well, you tell. I never knew there was anything except Democrats.
I'm ready. I hope you're ready too. Hello, my friend. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I am CharLee Simons, your host here on Do Not Talk. Talk about two things you're never supposed to talk about, politics and religion. Talking to people I'm not supposed to talk to. Talking to ones the media ignores because they hate competition. And they hate promoting anything with God, family, and country related. Yeah, the mainstream media is going to ignore that too. They hate it. They're doing the devil's work just as quickly as possible, for his time is short. It is that blatant. I know. I've been in the media my entire adult life, radio and television, two major networks as well, CBS, ABC. I've shared stories with you, and there's a lot of stuff I've never even told you, but I want you to meet Sam Anthony. He started up a company called yournews.com, yournews.com. It is an online platform delivering not just local news. You can hyper focus it. You can get just local stuff, national stuff, worldwide stuff, all in one place. No subscription fee. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to buy in. He does advertising on there, and he'll actually monetize for other people like me who are actually doing shows now, not working in mainstream media anymore, because we got kicked out. We got asked to leave despite our ratings, no matter how well we were doing. We're down to the wire now. This is how severe it has gotten. People like me have no place in mainstream media anymore. They don't want me. But there are people who are doing things and bypassing all of that and utilizing social media, even though they're being doxxed, they're being shadow banned, they're being shut down. I had all my Facebook pages deleted last year, almost a year ago now. Deleted every single one of my pages because of something I posted about Pride Month, which is kicking off in just a couple of days. Oh, here we go again. So that was what got kicked me off last summer, because of a show I did about Pride Month and what a scam and a sham it is. And I showed you exactly why and how they're lying to you. And that got me booted by Meta. Pissed off somebody there in the Silicon Valley. Somebody got triggered. So I'm doing my job. Along comes Spencer Pratt, running for mayor of Los Angeles, and he is going a different route, unlike any other Republican candidate I've ever seen running for office, and it's making inroads.
Scary to me because I don't think there's the experience to actually deliver on results.
So that woman has had, I think, almost 5 years. She's been the chair of the homeless housing department for the last 3 years. The drug addicts that are attacking moms that are naked in front of kids, that is on her and Mayor Bass. This is a woman who fought in her own district for moms that didn't want drug addicts selling drugs, being naked in front of kids in front of the school. She's fighting them on camera, saying there's no difference between 1 foot and 500 feet to have naked drug addict encampments in front of kids. So when these people talk, you're literally listening to a lunatic.
And she's to fund the police too.
Not even going to be a conversation. We should just focus on Bass. She, after the debate, the betting apps, she went from 65% to, I think she's at 5%. She's so irrelevant that we should just focus on Bass.
He could be the next mayor of Los Angeles. I don't think it'll happen, but then I'm a little cynical towards my own fellow Californians. We have a long, long history of doing stupid things and putting stupid people into tremendous positions of incredible power. Sam Anthony is my guest today, yournews.com. And we are going to be talking about the Stop Nick Shirley Act. If you haven't seen this, here's the actual breakdown of the bill itself. The Stop Nick Shirley Act is what the Democrats themselves started calling it because they just thought it was cute and funny. And then it turned all negative when all of us woke up to what AB 2624 is actually all about. It's also authored by Assembly Member Mia Bonta, who is the wife of the Attorney General. You know, the one who's supposed to be prosecuting all this fraud going on in the state. Well, now they've come up with a bill, AB 2624, to actually stop people like Nick Shirley and people like me from reporting what's going on with this corruption. Here's what happened with Nick Shirley. actually showed up at the Capitol building. If you haven't seen
Authors of the bill, how are you guys doing? We just want to ask you about the bill and why you guys would pass this bill that really is an attack on free speech.
I am not even sure what you're talking about.
Really?
You said an author.
Liar.
I don't think.
Yes.
I'm an
Did you
author.
Did you sign to pass this bill?
Yes.
The AB 26?
No, I don't know what
24?
you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Liar.
You do not.
Liar.
No,
Are you
guys
serious?
are just talking about something.
Yeah, we're talking about something random. Okay. Speaker Rivas, how are you doing? What do you think about the Stop Nick Shirley Act? AB 2624.
I don't know anything about it.
And do you think there's any conflict of interest there
Liar.
with Mia Bonta and her husband being the AG? That just shows you everything you need to know. These people won't even answer the questions. You're a co-author of the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Oh,
That's
you know who
Scott
I am. My name's
Wiener.
Nick Shirley, ma'am.
I have no
You signed
idea
off on
who
the
you are.
AB 2624 Act. Can you tell us about what you
I don't know.
did on that?
I don't even know who you are.
Well, my
Are you a
name's Nick
blogger?
Shirley.
I'm sorry,
But
I
could
don't
you
know who
please
are.
just answer any question about the AB 2624 bill? A lot of people are worried about that it's going to
I don't-
stop
you can
fraud
talk to my
investigations.
team if you want
But you're the
to.
one who signed off and you're a co-author of it. These people are crazy. They can't even answer questions about the bills
They're
that they're
arrogant.
co-authoring. Oh, is this Scott Wiener right here?
Yep, yes he is.
Yes.
Scott Wiener.
Scott Wiener
How
coming
you
up right
doing?
now.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Can you can you give us your opinion?
Capitol.
Thank you very much. Can you give us your opinion really quick on AB 2624?
I think you're a psycho scam artist. So
You think
have a
I
good time.
please disclose how you think that. Look how they just run away. These guys are fools. It would suck to have the last name Wiener anyways.
I hope you're registered to vote. Even if you're not, it doesn't matter in California. As we're finding out in Los Angeles with people coming in from out of state, and it's a big TikTok thing right now. People are coming in from out of state to vote for Spencer Pratt in the mayoral race in Los Angeles because anybody can vote. They don't ask questions. They don't ask for ID. That's happening. It's happening right now on TikTok. It's a big thing. Whether they actually follow through or not, I don't know, but I think that's pretty danged hilarious myself. All right, let's get Sam Anthony into the mix, get his thoughts on this, because he's got a new way to get your message out and for you to get information on Do Not Talk. Ready? Hit it.
Yeah! Woo!
What's up, my brother? Hello.
How are you? I just get a big kick out of that Nick Shirley. You know, he's the one investigating why they're doing this. It's kind of comical. And look, the only thing I have to say to this is somehow politics has become a criminal organization. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. Let's call it the way it is. The reason they don't want this stuff uncovered is because they're the ones committing the crimes and they get direct benefits from it. Okay, this is why they're very upset about it. Now, do I think it'll pass? Yes. Do I think it's going to hold up with the Supreme Court? They're going to eat that thing alive and throw it out in minutes. Okay, because it's a complete violation of free speech.
But the damage will be done. And that's what they know. They're all attorneys. You realize they're all attorneys.
The damage will
that's
be
the
done.
attorney trick. You present something that they know is not going to hold up, but it affects all they're worrying about is influencing the jury. That's all they're worrying about. And all they have to do is win over just half the population of California, which they've already done for the most part. They're going to vote for anything with a D in front of their name in California.
So anybody who has common sense understands, these people are ripping us off. The damage is not done. They're actually showing their hand as to who they are. This is bad for them. It's not good. You might think it's good because you're seeing it going, I can't believe they're pulling this off. But when you have to have the Supreme Court come in and step in and completely change the ruling because it's unconstitutional, you have to know that makes them look bad. There's nothing that looks good about this. This is just.
Remember, where most on the left are getting their information, they're still not getting it from people like me and you. They're just not. They're still watching the mainstream news. They're still watching the mainstream media. They're still thinking that with glowing. I mean, they love it, and they're still getting their information from that. And they'll never know that it was shot down by the Supreme Court. That's how isolated they are on the left. They won't even know. So why I say the damage will be done is a lot of guys like me, a lot of people like me who will go after these kind of stories and go after these people committing the fraud are going to be too scared to even step forward kind of like pastors after the 501c3 was introduced by Lyndon Johnson with a tax exempt status for churches. Until you say something political and then we'll pull it, it's been effective. Pastors shut down, even though it's not really relevant and it's not applied and it's never actually happened. It doesn't matter. The effect was to shut them down, shut them up, and make them scared. That's going to have the same effect on reporters, I believe, and independent journalists.
Nah, see, there's
you don't think so?
No, the journalists are not that dumb. As a matter of fact, here's my advice to you. Once it passes, go start doing the same thing, but call the cops and tell them you're doing it and let them come and pick you up and arrest you. And by the time it's all said and done, and this whole thing gets turned over, you're going to be suing the city for literally hundreds of millions of dollars for damages. Turn it into a business. That's all you have to do. This is easy money. They're giving it away. It's all the taxpayer money. They don't care. They're going to pay you to go away because you suffered damages. You were going to buy that mansion on the water, on the ocean, but now you had to pay your legal bills and you couldn't afford it, and they ruined your reputation. You remember that one guy who liked you and now he doesn't?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So I would say turn this into an opportunity. I see opportunity all over this. And
that's funny. See why I love Sam? See why I love him? It's been way too long since I've had you on. It's about dang time. I hope things are going well for you on the landscape of the new social media and the new way to get information at yournews.com. How's it going?
So we've been making leaps and bounds, Charlie. We've now got just under 6,000 news reporters. Think about that. Okay. 6,000 news reporters. I got more content coming than you could possibly imagine. But, now I'm starting to get people that do NASCAR, Formula One. I talked to two guys yesterday. You want to know the real problem we're in? And this is why I know mainstream media is not going to be around. I mean, they're just all dwindled away. Two guys, they're hockey reporters. They're probably 50-ish, 45-ish. They've been writing hockey for years. I mean, at the highest level, like with big papers. And now we're part of the downsizing, and now they started their own hockey website. They're trying to sell their own ads and do their own thing. And these are content creators. They're not ad salespeople. So I sat down with them yesterday and I showed them what I did. And they're like, they said, we would have never figured this out if you hadn't told us. I said, this is absolutely incredible. So between the two of them, they've got almost 30,000 followers on social media. So I'm just waiting for them to set up their account. And then we're going to start bringing their audience over here. So last month, 1.5 million visitors to the site. 6,000 creators will do that. So if I want to double my traffic, I just go to 12,000. So this thing is really trying to pick up steam. Before I was on a call with you, I just had another conversation with somebody that they're very, very big in NASCAR. And they're covering every single thing. They've got a huge following on YouTube. Remember, I don't know if I ever told you, but my model is really a roll-up where you could acquire different verticals. Your news has, like golf, soccer, hockey, basketball, football, baseball. It's got politics, business, entertainment, faith, fashion, home and garden, food and wine. I mean, there's like 40 verticals there. I'm the wheel, and these are all the spokes. And so at some point in time, once we take this public, I'm going to start acquiring different verticals. Somebody that does horse racing news, somebody that does MMA news, somebody that, that have websites, right? And all you do is redirect all the traffic to that vertical, because I don't know anything about horse racing news. I guarantee you don't. But there's people that do this for a living that have websites, right? So you redirect all their traffic, all their ad revenue, and you give them a bigger exit. It's a win-win-win all the way around. So anyway, I found the guy that does NASCAR. So him and I just had a great conversation. We're going to start the process, not from the acquisition point now, because I'm going to wait till I go public. My valuations will be through the roof. But that being said, this is the model. It's already coming to fruition. I think that I could get this in the next 18 months to probably 20 to 30,000 news reporters. And then you're unstoppable.
Have you been following what's going on with Spencer Pratt?
Well, I get to see all the videos. You just don't want to not watch them, right? I mean, they're fantastic what he did with some of these videos. So yes, I've been watching it. Do I think he could win? I absolutely do. The issue you're facing in California is there's nothing fair. I mean, there's no real elections.
Illegals voting is really one of the major issues.
Well, I mean, think about
millions
it.
of them.
And they will bring in ballots and they'll do whatever it takes to retain power. I mean, any government entity that's trying to get rid of free speech, okay? And we already know they're criminals, because if they weren't criminals, they wouldn't be trying to, wouldn't be criminalizing the shedding of the light on the crimes. Okay, that's all you have to know. So this is a complete criminal organization. And
absolutely. And they're doing things like this and they get away with it because people don't question it or point it out. They're not getting away with that in Los Angeles now. Check out this report, Sam.
Go ahead.
Discussing a complaint that Los Angeles mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt is filing against incumbent Mayor Bass. Pratt is alleged that Bass held a rally outside a ballot drop box within a certain distance of a ballot drop-off box or a polling place. The idea being that politicians could intimidate voters who are simply on their way to exercise their rights and cast their secret ballots. The video of this event was actually posted to social media by Bass herself.
We're gonna bring this to home base and win, right?
It shows her addressing a group of supporters, happily filling out and handing in their ballots, even a little group that she calls Baby Bass. And it's rather harmless unless it becomes a symbol of how Bass might be ignoring rules in other areas. And remember that one of the allegations that Pratt is making against Bass in his campaign is that she is not paying any attention to corruption. She's not paying attention to the basic he has as mayor. She's letting a lot of the cracks, and that's why LA is the way it is. Enforcing the law, enforcing the rules is part of his campaign message. Now, this complaint might not go anywhere. Most of these kinds of complaints don't. In fact, campaigns often routinely file complaints against each other in the closing days before an election and even on election day itself, alleging a violation of this or that. It doesn't really move the needle. But in this case, it does reinforce a campaign message by Spencer Pratt that Karen Bass is too complacent to care about doing things the proper way.
Bottom line, they flat don't care. They know they have a supermajority. They know the media is on their side, and they continue to get away with it. Even Spencer Pratt pointing this out, and that one, I'd never even heard about it till I ran across that. And I'm like, dang it. Wouldn't this be big news if it were the other way around, if that was a Republican candidate in California who's already mayor of Los Angeles and pulled some stunt like that they know is illegal? They know it's illegal, and they do it anyway. Don't you think the media would be losing their freaking minds right now?
So their job is to keep the status quo. And these people are basically paid to do that. So that you have the power structure in place. The power structure in place is not going to go away. And if they do, they're not going to go away very easily. They're going to be kicking and screaming. But they've already got the whole structure set up, and that's part of the mainstream media. So, I don't know how you beat a machine like that. Here's what I do know. What I do know is you have a mass exodus of all the money, not just in California, but you have it in New York, you have it in Chicago, you have it in Connecticut, you have it in New Jersey, you have it in Detroit. Where's all that money going? It's all coming to places like Texas, Florida, North Carolina, even Tennessee, places where there's no state income tax. Even a lot of it went to Nevada, right? I mean, that's just how it's working. And what's going to happen is they're already running at a deficit, where you have Florida that's running at a surplus. As a matter of fact, Florida invests in blue states. They actually loan money, but they tie it to people's water bills and stuff like this. So they have guaranteed revenue coming in. They're not just going to give it to you and hope they get it back. So oh yeah. So
I didn't know they were doing that. That is amazing.
You have garbage. So we want to put it to the garbage bill because we're going to get our money back and it comes to us. So eventually these states are going to go bankrupt. Then what they're going to do, and this is for everybody here because I know how this works, they're going to take your pensions because they can take the pension money because they're going to think they're going to get it from the federal government. And as long as the federal government holds tight, that money's never going to come. Then they're going to be pointing fingers and blaming everybody. This is not our fault that we stole your money. But then eventually it'll all have to self-correct. But a lot of people are going to get injured. A lot of people.
And that's how here in California they've been threatening to actually keep your pension if you were a California state employee or a county employee and you move out of state. They will abscond your money. They will take your taxes out of there, even though you're no longer living here. And even if they never do it, and even if they did do it and it got shot down by the courts, the damage is done, as I keep saying. People are scared to death now. If they built their career 20, 30 years working for the state, they're staying in California, even though they can't afford to stay here. They want to get out, but they won't now because they're afraid to.
Well, it's not my problem. You guys got to deal with that stuff. Okay. I would give them the money. Goodbye. As far as I'm concerned, all of it's going to be overturned anyway. You can't do it. And, but what happens is when they get desperate because there's no more federal money and it's all, they're being choked, they're just going to reach into somebody else's pocket and snatch it.
As we're seeing in New York. As we're seeing with Mom Dami.
It's a house of cards. That's all it is. And the house of cards will always come down. There is nothing that's going to hold that up. And if Trump gives our money to your state, then I want him gone. Okay? If you live there, you deserve it. And if you don't think you deserve it, you should leave. Get out. Because I certainly didn't create the problem, right? You may not have created it, but you're living there. So if you're living there, get the hell out. And by the way, if the same thing happened in Florida, I'd be out of here in a minute. I wouldn't stay here. You have to leave.
But you have the ability, financially, you have the ability to be able to do that. People like me, middle class, lower middle class, we don't.
So how much money are you going to lose, Charlie? How much money are you going to lose when the state collapses?
Yeah. It's not even a point of losing. It's like, where do I go and what do I do when I get there?
Because then it creates opportunity. So you keep missing the opportunity picture. Okay. There's opportunity that comes from everything. All prices are going to drop. Hell, I might come to California by the time the whole thing implodes because you're going to get rid of these people.
Last time I had Juan O'Stavin on the show, he said that same thing. He goes, actually, I'm considering coming back to California because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Once it implodes, these people are going to leave because the bank has been robbed. There's no more money in it. All right. Well, thank you for your time. We know we're retiring now. We no longer want to run, but thank you for giving us the pleasure of being able to steal all your money. And then new people have to come in. Yeah, that's all.
Well, let's talk about the new way Republicans should be concentrating campaign efforts based on what Spencer Pratt has done and is doing, because he has flipped the narrative in Los Angeles County, one of the largest in the nation. With things like this.
Welcome back to California's favorite game show, Wheel of Corruption, where the points are fake, the rules are made up, and somehow the Democrats always win. Tonight's contestants, world's greatest mayor Karen Bass, city council member Nithya Raman, and reality star Spencer Pratt. And your host, the greatest governor in the world, Governor Gavin Newsom!
Thank you. And welcome back to Wheel of Corruption, the only game show where the answers don't matter and Spencer will magically lose.
Wait, what?
Let's check the scoreboard. Karen Bass, $3.13 million. Congratulations. Spencer Pratt, $3.26 million. And Nithya Raman with $931,000. Let's go to round one. Category: things found on Los Angeles sidewalks. Karen Bass, you're up first. Oops, another bankrupt. That just means another $1 million for Karen Bass.
Wait, what?
I'd like to buy a vowel. You don't have to, Karen. The taxpayers will buy the vowel for you. Q. Correct.
What? There's no Q in there.
This is California, Spencer. Facts don't matter.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Affordable luxury yoga villages.
Exactly right.
That's not even close, dude.
One more word out of you and I'll call security, Spencer. Next category: why residents are leaving California.
It's obviously taxes and crime.
Ooh, sorry, that's incorrect.
What?
The correct answer was unexpected vibrant urban experiences.
Dude.
Congratulations, Mayor Bass and Councilmember Raman. You qualify for emergency taxpayer-funded matching funds. And another $5 bonus for Spencer.
$5?
And that's before taxes. Round two. Category: California infrastructure. I'd like to solve the puzzle, please. Mayor Bath is doing a great job. Incredible answer, Karen.
This game is rigged, bro.
Oh, I can't breathe. George, this is the big one.
Oh my gosh, police, help! I'm being attacked by a white man!
Spencer, we don't use words like rigged on Wheel of Corruption. It's racist. We prefer words like fortified democracy. It's bonus round time. The category? Campaign promises.
Cleaning up homelessness?
Sorry, we were looking for creating a task force to discuss the possibility of exploring solutions. Final lightning round. The category? Where did the budget go? I'd like 12 valves, please. Of course, Karen. The taxpayers won't mind.
You know, what he did was absolutely brilliant. I mean, all he's doing is exposing it through comedy, right? And so everybody sees it and you just can't stop watching it. Once you start watching it, you know, then you want to get more and then you're sharing it with everybody else. But people look at it and they go, he's right. So, you know, his name is in their mind when they go up to the voting booths. He's doing it right. I mean, nobody gives a crap about the sign sitting on somebody's lawn, right? I mean, but these ads have made this guy famous, okay? The only thing that stands against him in winning is Dominion. That's it. That's it. Dominion voting machines. Good luck beating that.
Right.
He should have one of those AI ads where they put in the vote and they go, but I just voted for Spencer Pratt. No, this is a Dominion voting machine. You voted for whoever we wanted you to vote for. See, that's another good one.
That is, and but again, I think that people are afraid. They watched what happened to Fox News. Tucker Carlson got fired. Steve Hilton got fired. Dan Bongino got fired because of the whole Dominion thing and the judgment against them when Dominion sued them. Of course, Dominion is owned no longer by the same company. It's now owned by supposedly a conservative Republican dude.
I would doubt it. And anybody that can control voting across the globe, this is going to be somebody that has bad intention. But that being said, don't use the word Dominion. We just put my vote into the electronic machine, and it didn't vote for the same person I voted for. And then you have Newsom say, "Well, that's because we know what's best for you."
There you go.
There you go. It eliminates it. Always an upside, CharLee. Always
and
an
we've
upside.
always an upside. See, Sam's great, man. He always gets me thinking a little bit more positively.
You have to think positive. I mean, do you really think we're going to lose the midterms?
In California? Yeah, I do.
Okay, but
nobody's done anything about the
count.
election fraud. Nobody's done a thing about the election fraud. My own elected representatives on the right don't even talk about it. Nobody brings it up. Nobody's trying to do anything different.
How much more money?
Assemblyman Carl DeMaio, I mean, he successfully, by doing a signing campaign, ballot campaign, has it now officially on the ballot in November to require ID to vote. I don't know what's going to happen come November. I don't know if it's going to pass or not.
It won't. It'll happen in a federal election. It won't happen in the state elections. They're not going to allow it.
Well, he's got a bill. It's on the ballot now. Come November to make voter ID or photo ID mandatory to vote in California. Of course, that's not going to help this midterm election coming up, but it will help for future elections if it isn't shot down or never even enacted, like Prop 39.
It's not going to be enacted. The only way you could do it is an executive order, which I know Trump is in the process of doing, and then they're going to have to fight it. But when you're talking a federal election, you have to be a U.S. citizen. My guess is he's probably going to eliminate the machines for federal elections, and they're going to have to comply. You would. It's not their election. It's our election. It's the federal election. So he could dictate whatever he wants. So, but when it comes to California, all of it's going to end when you guys have no more money. Just remember I said that. When there's no more money left, the bank robbers leave. Imagine you and me walking in a bank. We steal all the money. And I say, CharLee, what are you doing? Well, I'm looking for, well, we got it all. Oh, let's go. There's no reason to be there anymore. So there's still money to be stolen. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. This is a criminal organization. They're not interested in the welfare of the people. Spencer Pratt has got it right. Do you really think they want to get rid of homelessness in Los Angeles?
No, that's big money. That's
big money. Okay. I mean, because now look at this problem to donors. You need to donate to this. We need your money so we can help to try and get rid of this. The problems will never go away because if they go away, there's no way to make any money off of it and capitalize on it. You have to understand, these politicians are entrepreneurs. They are building a business and a brand, and they do it by making sure that problems always exist. Now, you and I are that far apart in age. Do you remember all the problems that we had 50 years ago? Remember Social Security is going to go bankrupt? Remember all the different issues?
Well, I was just a kid, but yeah.
Okay.
I remember them saying that.
Okay.
And my dad getting furious, and my dad screaming at the TV when the campaign ads would come on. Okay. I remember that.
And guess what?
He was a conservative through and through.
It's still the same problems today. Nobody's fixed anything. And this is why they hate Trump so much, because he's actually trying to solve the problems. Imagine you and I are on a football team and your whole front line plays for the other team. That would be Congress and the Senate. This is what he's up against. This is why nothing's getting done, because they don't want to get anything done. I mean, let's just call it the way it is. So this guy, Trump, is just a steamroller rolling through. He will get accomplished what he needs to get accomplished. He's going to do the best what he's going to do. And I think at the next 2.5 years, there's going to be a massive cleanup. Knock on wood. I'm still hoping the arrests come.
It's happening now, brother, and it's as a direct result of people like us finally getting involved and taking our responsibility seriously in voting. 37, 38 now out of candidates running for office in the midterms in other states have won that President Trump endorsed, including Paxton in Texas. That just happened yesterday. How come people like Senate Majority Leader John Thune isn't completely scared to death of losing his power and position and actually passing the Save America Act? And
I know the answer. I know the answer.
What is it?
Are you kidding? The reason he hasn't passed it is because he has people funding him not to. We have the best Congress money can buy. Why? Look, it makes logical sense. 87% of the population, both sides want it, and you're going to make sure they don't get it. Well, why would you do that? You're ruining your whole career. No, there's a backdoor clause where he gets $50 million to not do it. What would you do? What would you do, Charlie?
The right thing, but then that's probably why I'll never hold office.
Hey, look, all I'm telling you is what I just said is 100% accurate. There is no way I'm wrong. He's doing it because there's a financial benefit on the other side. We don't know what that is, because he's not going to say, hey, I took a bribe, but you know it's coming. And it's going to be in the form of some campaign donation, or he's going to go sit on a board and make $10 billion a year for a guaranteed 5 years. Whatever it is, the reason he's not big, because that guy's toast. He's going to be 86 the moment his number comes up for voting. He is never getting in office again. Okay, ever. His whole career is shot. Would you do it for a bunch of money? I know there's a lot of people that would. We have a lot of whores out there, Charlie.
Yeah, we should.
And they all are in D.C.
Speaking of whores, back to California, Governor Hairdo said publicly on camera that there's a break the glass scenario. And if they have to break the glass, which is it's talking about you break the glass and in an emergency to pull the alarm or to pull out the fire equipment to battle it. The axe and the hose, the fire hose, you have to break the glass. Mm-hmm. That's what he's talking about. What could that possibly be? His break the glass scenario in California.
The only thing that I could figure is something that's going to damage what he's put together. That's going to protect his criminal institution. That's when you got to break the glass. They're not here for us. Okay.
No speculation as to what that might be, though.
I got no idea. It's got to be something that if something bad is happening, maybe he'll declare martial law in California, and all voting is over, and he's going to remove everybody from the voting the locations, and then bring in whatever votes he needs. But either way, these people ain't going to lose a thing. You are in the heart of the criminal organization. New York, just think of it as the mafia, right? Where you have the you have the mob in Chicago, and then you have the other family in New York, and you have the other family in LA. And this is how these guys operate. I mean, have you ever heard a Democrat come up with an actual real solution that made sense to anything? I'll give you a better one. Have you ever heard a Democrat that offered another solution that even didn't make sense? No. It's only we have to stop him. He's destroying everything we've built. That's all it is. There's no answers for anything because they're not interested in that. And you will never get one out of them. They will never say, well, illegal immigration, rather than grabbing them when they're going to school and taking them out of their homes, we need at least say something. Okay. We need to call them all up and ask them to call at least something. They don't even have that answer. It's because these are their damn voters. And whenever they get on TV, they talk about the problems and how we need to fix these problems. Could you imagine if all the problems were fixed? What do we need you for?
Right.
Politics only works when there's problems and you need people to fix them.
You're right. The entire Democrat Party. I always am. It's all built on and everything's an emergency. Everything has to happen now. We got to protect the people. We got to stop the Nick Shirleys of the world. We got to protect our minority communities. Everything's always now, and it's an emergency and it's a catastrophe. That's how they operate. That's how they've always operated.
CharLee, I want you to think this through. This kid who never went to journalism school, who never worked for a newspaper, radio, or TV station, who's 23 years old, uncovers some of the biggest scandals that you could possibly imagine where all of our tax dollars are going, and they're stealing our tax money. And I'm sure it's not just Somalians. I'm sure it's other people as well.
Oh, yeah.
But then they're packaging the money up and they're putting it on planes and sending it to Somalia. Okay, think this through. So I came here with nothing. I never got a job, and I make $10 million a year, and I'm shipping $9 million off because I'm going to go buy massive things in Somalia. And he had to uncover this. And instead of them saying, "Oh my God, thank you so much because this was our tax money," they demonized him. He's the criminal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I don't care what you say, who you say it to. You have to know that 100% of the population knows that that's bullshit. 100. Okay. 100. So I uncovered a crime. Well, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you. No, everybody knows it. This has just gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Thank God it happened, because now he's exposing them for the actual pieces of shit that they really are. Think this through. So to me, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. And I'm telling you, if you got out after they passed this law, I would go out and start reporting and asking people questions. And I call the cops to say, "Hey, by the way, I'm going to commit a crime here. Come on over here and get me." And then sue the son of a bitches. Walk away, get yourself $2-3 million out of it anyway. Damages.
All right.
It'll probably take 2 to 3 years, but that'll be worth $1 million a year.
I'll consult my people.
I am your people.
Should I do that, Spike?
Hey, Spike, I am your people.
He's going to send it out for some consideration and get back to me with his counsel. I love what you're doing. I encourage you to go over to yournews.com and start going there to get your information, because you're going to get people like me. You're going to get people like Nick Shirley, people like Arthur Schaper, who's a great writer with townhall.com, and I want to get him on Your News. People like that are now on yournews.com. So you can get all your information, and you can hyper localize it, just putting in your zip code if you want to just get your local sports, your high school sports scores and so on. That's the brilliance of what Sam is doing, and I hope you'll utilize it. And you gave me my own page too, by the way. Let's talk about this. Look at this right here. That's pretty dang cool, buddy. Scroll us through it.
So this is CharLee Simons' author page. So it would be kind of like his YouTube or Rumble channel. And this is all the content that CharLee submitted. And if you want to follow CharLee, I'll make it bigger. There's a follow author button where you can actually select that. And every time CharLee submits news to the platform, it'll automatically alert you and give you a direct link to that article with however you set it up, whether it's some kind of phone text, or I don't know if we do that, or emails, but yeah. So this is becoming a platform that is a player in the space. And CharLee, do you see I'm in Houston, Texas here? Can you see? Okay, so the reason I'm showing you this, I personally am not in Houston. I just was the last place I was, but I'm going to do local news here, top stories. And I just want you to see this. Houston storms overnight, power restoration underway across the area. And Trump congratulates PAC to the Senate runoff. Now, that's a state story running. In Middleton defends Chip Roy in Texas GOP. You have more local stuff that's in here. And I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to do entertainment news. This is all citizen journalism. Weekend comedy spotlight, Tim Meadows takes the stage in Houston. Texas comedy fans score big with Martin Lawrence. This is all local entertainment stuff that's happening, but it's all supplied by citizen reporters. Is this not cool, CharLee, or what? I'm going to go to food and wine here for a minute. This is all.
He's on Texas right now, but you can do that with whatever your area is.
Oh my God. You just put in your zip code and you go to Chicago 60601, and then it's good. The national news is going to be the same. It's going to look like this, but the local news is going to be completely different. So here you go. What does this say? It says, how just going to school, family mourns honor student, right? What is it? I can't even read it. I'm getting small here. He was just going to school. Family mourns honor student Pedro Ramirez after deadly Chicago shooting. So all of this is local stuff for the city of Chicago. Tell me this is not cool. And we have this. I don't even know where I mean, all the different zip codes are. Like if I went to my market, where am I at? I'm in 34990. So I'll do top stories, and I'll do, like, let's say sports here. So this is poll. It says poll, rising food costs are putting Florida residents in debt. So this is all local stuff for my market. Whereas if I went to sports news, we have farm teams here. So these are the St. Lucie Mets, 3-2 straight wins. So this is all local farm team stuff. We have local news, CharLee. It's happening all over the United States. 6,000 news reporters covering local news. And then the reason I brought you here is this is Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I just happen to remember Creighton fire investigate continues following structure collapse. I'll scroll down the page. It's all local news for this particular area, which is kind of cool. And anybody that wants to become a citizen reporter, like a Nick Shirley, they come here and they click become a citizen journalist. There's a few videos you could watch, and then you fill out the application. And we have thousands of. Oh my God!
And by the way, he monetizes. So anybody on YouTube and on Rebel, he will share with you advertising that he gets. He will actually share with you, and that's very rare. So I just appreciate you so much, my friend.
Well, this is truly putting the power of the press in the hands of the people where it belongs, CharLee. It is.
And you could be a ground floor investor too if you want. Go to yournews.com.
We can. So
go to the bottom of the page and just click on invest. You could actually own some stock in this, and you're going to be going public pretty quickly.
It'll take me at least between year 2 and year 3. So we're at 6,000 creators now. I want to get to between 50 and 100,000. And that will be done. And the reason I'm going to share this with you, I'm going to tell you, if I didn't tell you before, yesterday I had 2 conversations with 2 different, they're both working together, but they do hockey news. They're high level hockey. One wrote for the Buffalo Sabres. The other one's Philadelphia Flyers. They work for the big newspapers in those markets, the Philadelphia Inquirer, and don't ask me where the other guy was, but Buffalo, whatever it was called. But they all lost their jobs. They have nowhere to go. So now they started their own hockey website. They're calling all their hockey guys, trying to get a way for distribution and trying to sell advertising. And you can't have the creator sell the ads. It just doesn't work. It's all moving to platforms, right? So I'm going to give you an example. If you want to know why the mainstream media is going out of business, it would have never happened if it wasn't for the technology that exists today. If the internet didn't exist, it would still be here. But the reason it's going out of business is because of the younger generation and how they consume information. So you have YouTube, which has 61 million channels, 61 million. TikTok and Instagram, over 100 million creators. And so the way platforms work, and I know it's common sense, is you're on a platform, it's called Rumble. You're trying to tell people to go follow you on Rumble, right? And so you're one of 250,000 people that have channels on that platform.
Right.
Last month, Rumble had 50 million people on it, okay? It's very difficult to get 50 million people on anything, but YouTube had 3 billion. And the reason is it's all about the creators driving traffic, and it creates community. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these two hockey guys collectively had almost 30,000 followers on social media. They're coming here, okay? And they're going to be pumping their hockey stuff out, and they're going to be sharing it on their social media pages, and they're going to bring all their people to me. Whereas I just picked up somebody who does NASCAR news, and she has thousands of followers that love NASCAR. And I just picked up another guy, well, not one, I picked up probably 5 that do 2A news. We have a 2A section for guns. And so they have thousands of, they can't get publicity anywhere. So their content comes in, and I can assure you, CharLee, people that shoot guns watch NASCAR, they watch IndyCar, they probably watch hockey. I mean, my point is it's this massive cross-pollination. Our niche is the local news, what you saw in Houston, what you saw in Chicago, what you saw in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's all local news. I do that everywhere. And that's the value, because you can get the Monday Night Football game. I was talking to a guy today who does the Knicks. He does the Knicks. He's a basketball reporter, but he focuses on Knicks. He can't get a job. Nobody's hiring these people. And I said to him, I said, look, you could focus on the Knicks, but I'm going to tell you right now, you know how many people are covering the Knicks and the NBA? I mean, you're probably talking 100,000 people. But how many people are covering the high school basketball game in your city? Like 0, okay? Mm-hmm. So if you become that guy, you draw all the audience, because everybody's dispersed everywhere else, but nobody's doing this. So you fill that void. And he said, you're right, because you know what? The high school football game, how many families does that reach in the community?
And nobody gets the newspaper much anymore, so you're not even getting those scores. And if you do on the newspaper, you get them the next day or maybe 2 days later. But on your news, you can get it literally that night.
And so what'll happen is people will follow that person because they're the go-to guy for the local sports, whatever it is they need. And what happens is they end up blocking out the other guy. So I'm going to give you a little fun fact, which I don't know that I told you. So platforms are valued based on how many content creators they have. Perfect example is if a platform doesn't have any users, there's no traffic, there's no value, right? So, you have to have a user base. So Rumble has 250,000 and YouTube has 60 million. So there's a difference in value, right? YouTube's difficult. They did an audit, so it's between 5 and 600 billion. But the way you value them is how many content creators they have. That's it. And do you know how much you're worth on Rumble? Did I ever tell you this? You're worth exactly 10 grand. You want to know how? You take the market cap of the company, which is the amount of shares times the price, or you could just type in Google, what is the market cap for Rumble? I did it on Thursday. It was 2.75 billion. So, and it bounces between 2 and 3. I've seen it as high as 4, but usually 2.5, 3 billion. So say 2.5 for simple math. They have 250,000 channels. If you take 250,000 and divide it into 2.5 billion, it's 10,000 per person. Now, if they double their creator base, their market cap will go to 5 billion. It's just that simple. That's how they're valued. So the reason I'm bringing this up to you is I have 6,000 news reporters, 6,000 creators.
I want to meet your 6,001st contributor. He writes for townhall.com and a whole bunch of others, and he's also part of massresistance.org, which is such a great nonprofit, really fighting the good fight on the front lines. His name is Arthur Schaper. Arthur, I want you to meet Sam Anthony. Have you ever met him before? Do you know him?
No, this is the first time. Nice to meet you, Sam.
You look familiar to me. Maybe I've seen you on this show before, or maybe have I not been on with you before? Because God, you look. Really
He's on
familiar.
with me every week, Arthur.
So you're on Town Hall?
I sure am. Yes, I've been really blessed to be there, as well as American Thinker, American Greatness, And Bearing Arms, which is part of the Salem Town Hall family, they've started welcoming me in. I had something published yesterday with them. It's been wonderful. I've had a lot of opportunity to explore key issues I care about, that you care about. I've interviewed people whom I never would have had the chance to meet, but for my connections with these different websites. I've talked to the government in exile with East Turkestan. I've connected with authors who are trying to get their books promoted. Simon & Schuster, now they reach out to me routinely. I've been writing book reviews. My second book review is going to be published tomorrow. So I've been doing a lot of great stuff, and I'm really just expanding my outreach. It's been great.
So now I'm assuming you're an employee of the company of Salem Media, right?
No. I independently contribute.
Oh, so because listen to me, I deal with content creators all the time, news reporters that were part of the downsizing of the legacy media. And, all of them are going like this. What do we do? What's happening? And, I'm like, I didn't create this mess, right? I'm not part of the younger generation that did it because they did it. It's the internet, which has created options for people. And, there's 60 million people on YouTube. Go pick one. Okay. I mean, there's how many on TikTok and Instagram, Rumble, the Spotify and all that stuff. I mean, there's so many different options. I was telling CharLee, like back in 1990, we had three network TV stations. No Fox. There was ABC, NBC, and CBS. What else was there?
That was it.
I don't know.
PBS.
There wasn't many.
Public television, public broadcasting.
Yeah, well, that doesn't even count. Okay. And, so that was just public propaganda. But these people have nowhere to go. And then you have people that are on YouTube that are making seven figures, right? Yes. I mean, and, they didn't do it overnight. I mean, YouTube, what did it come out in 2005 or something like that? And nobody even heard of it till like 2015. But when it started to get traction, but all of a sudden, then they went into monetization. And then all the guys that were there that kind of were established, as everybody raced, they were just already in the game and their numbers just grew and it was easier. You jump in there now, and you're like, jumping into the ocean with a billion fish, nobody could find you. Right. And so then if you were one of the early pioneers, you were much better off is what I'm going to get at. And so, yeah, look, I mean, you and I need to have a conversation, maybe, just off the show so I could tell you what we're doing because I can assure you the legacy media is not going to survive. What I do will replace it. It'll be a platform. Everybody's moving to platforms, right? Where my niche, nobody does this, is local news. I do it at scale, okay? And the void I fill is the collapse of legacy media. And so like I tell people, you have to ask yourself two questions. Is there a marketplace for this? And in the next 2 years, do you think I'm going to have more news reporters or less? If you say if there is oh my God, that's all you need to know. So
I think you'll have more. I mean, now that it's easier for people to step into that role, there's going to be more people who are talking about essential on the ground news in their local areas, which corporate media never knew about, never could reach, or never cared about, most importantly, worst of all. So technology hasn't diminished the number of opportunities. I hear what you're saying. It has actually expanded the number of opportunities. There's more news. It's now a different challenge. People have to learn how to filter, how to evaluate, and how to decide. That's a different challenge, but that's on them. What you're doing is creating the opportunity for people to make more choices, and that's really good.
Well, remember, my model is the exact replication of the physical world, like how it works, minus all the print and distribution costs, and then it allows the public to interact. But it's still, let's put it this way. If you hate golf, you are never going to read my golf section, correct?
There you go.
So
right.
It's already pre-filtered out. People go to the categories that they want. So if you're coming to my site today in Houston looking for what's happening tonight, I got everything. Okay. Yes. But that's all supplied by the public. And so you're in that category, entertainment or events, looking for something to do. And then if you say, okay, who won the the basketball game or you're going to go to my basketball section. If you want to know football, you go to football. It's all pre-selected. And then the content is pushed to the proper subject and geography. So we could make a news story appear in a city. So, and that's the whole key. So there's nobody has to search everything. It's all pre-search. You just say, I want sports or business or politics, and that's what it gives you. So yeah, we're onto something big here. And I can assure you, most of the old guard is not going to participate in new media because it's just, they don't get it. But the next news reporter is not going to be one of mainstream media in your local community. It's going to be your neighbor who goes out and covers the story and then shares it with you, Charlie, and says, can you believe this crap is happening? And you already know who it is. And you're going to say, wow, you already trust them. That's where it's all going. And just like YouTube provided technology where anybody can be a broadcaster, we provide technology where everybody can be a news reporter. That's it. So yeah, you and I got to talk. You do.
Arthur,
What's
you've
that?
already been on Your News for a while now because the shows I do with you, I post on yournews.com.
Oh yeah,
perfect, excellent.
But he's one of the good ones, and the mainstream media won't touch him, won't hire him, won't utilize him. He won't get a job. But we've got the California Post here now, which is really making some great inroads.
Doors have opened.
Epic Times is another conservative newspaper that's actually getting subscribers and making inroads. That's exciting in California.
Totally. Look, we need the message out, right?
People are really just hungry for truth, accuracy, and integrity because it's been so lost, and people see how far off the mark the big corporations were. The mainstream media has been. I mean, mainstream media is not going to hire me. I mean, they're firing people left and right. I couldn't care less anymore. They're gone, and little by little doors are opening in other venues. So it's all working for good.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. At the end of the day, legacy media is going to be gone. Nobody even argues it. Okay, it's called an antiquated product. It's why you don't get in a horse and buggy, you get in an automobile.
Exactly.
What we do will become the next mainstream media. Complete people-powered press. Decentralized, democratized, puts the power to press in the hands of the people. There is literally 100% chance what I just told you will happen. 100. Okay, because I know I'm doing it. I have 6,000 news reporters, for God's sake. Watch what happens when I have 100,000. And I'm still going to come on Charlie's show. And I'm going to still tell them how California is going down the shithole. But soon enough, it's going to be there, and then we can rebuild it. I'm going to go buy most of the state, and you guys can rent from me.
There you go. All right, strike while the iron is collapsed. By the way, Sam, you need to go to my website right down here, CharLeeSimons.com, CharLeeSimons.com, because you can get a mug like Arthur has there. Yeah, buddy.
I love it.
One of my mugs.
There you go. I made sure I've got it ready this time.
Charlie Simons.
That's right. Let's talk about politics and religion. There you go. CharLeeSimons.com. CHER.
We're in the mess we're in because we haven't talked about those things.
Exactly. Well, we're here to bring it all to light. And, look, I'm just the platform owner. You guys are really the guys making it happen, not me. I'm the guy that just is the facilitator of all the bad news.
I'm gonna put you both in the green room, but hang on, we'll talk off air. I want you two to meet. I've been wanting you to meet for a while. I'm excited that this can happen. Stand by. And seriously, you want to help out this show and help me grow, and I could use your help right now. Seriously, financially, last year was bad. It was bad. So this is costing me money to do these shows. So just buying some of the product in my merchandise store at my website. I've got this, and I got hats, and I got shirts and all kinds of fun stuff at CharLeeSimons.com, or ways for you just to give. You want to donate to this ministry, and I consider this a ministry. I'm doing this for the Lord, obviously not for the money. So if you can help, that would be great. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you, and share these shows. That's another great thing you can do to break down that algorithm. Hit that like button. That helps with the algorithms. When you comment down below, that also helps as well. I don't know why, it just does. And sharing them on your social media platform to help get the word out about guys like Arthur Schaper, yournews.com, Sam Anthony, and what I do here, and my dog Spike. So may God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America bless God.